live from Albert Alley Gymnasium on the campus of Nevada Union High School. Touchdown Productions, celebrating its 18th season of local high school sports television, is proud to present Nevada Union Lady Miners basketball. Tonight, as we continue our coverage of the 2015 season, your Nevada Union Lady Miners take on the Lady Placer Hillmen. It's the final broadcast of the year, and all the basketball action is coming up right here, right now. This is your NorCal Game of the Week. So the NU Lady Miners take to the hardwood at the Ally as they host the Placer Lady Hillmen in a key preseason matchup. Good evening, basketball fans, wherever you are across our worldwide audience. This is Paul Brown. Joining me tonight in the broadcast booth is Steve Sitter. Our producer and director in the Commander 2 is Gilbert N. Dominguez. And of course, he is joined by the rest of the Touchdown Productions sports team, Samuel Enos, Tony Rondini, Mason Deely, and coming out of retirement, Patrick Sheeney, who are all here and ready to go for our second Lady Miner broadcast of the season. But before we get started, we're going to give you some bonus coverage here of the JV game. We're in the fourth quarter right now, and the score is Nevada Union 27 and Placer 24. And here for that call is my partner, standing Steve Sitter.
Thanks for the introduction, Paul. The score is 27-24, Nevada Union over Placer, and we have seen a very defensive game from both of these teams, not really allowing the other very much in the way of room under the basket. And we got a foul way up near half court. That's Stephanie Noble with the foul. Ashton Willis will inbound. This Lady Miners team, all sophomores, compared to the Lady Hillmen, who do have 3 freshmen on their roster. There's a long pass down under the basket. Shauna Ladder can't control it, so she dribbles back out, throws it out to Willis. Down low, wide open, and good. Sophie Humphers puts it in, and it's now 29-24.
I was just talking about Ashlyn Willis, the sophomore, number 44. Her sister started on the varsity last year as a freshman. She is equally as good. We'll keep an eye on her as the year progresses.
That shot by Molly Brogdon is no good. Rebound, Lady Miners. And with 5:20 left, 5 points seems like a very comfortable lead. We have not seen much in the way of momentum swinging either direction. Greta Kramer drives, dishes out for Humphers. Humphers, the long 2, no good, but the rebound comes to Shauna Ladder, who will dribble out. And you will burn some more time, but there will be a travel called. Looks like Ladder picked up her pivot foot. So now Placer will have it with 5:01 left.
Like you said, Steve, not a lot of scoring in the third quarter. I don't think there was a total of 7 points scored the entire quarter by either team.
Brogdon brings it up as the pass to the corner. Harbor throws it back out. Back to Harbor in the corner. Back, long 3 on the way, and that's good. Molly Brogdon for 3, the 5'2" freshman, and it's now 29-27.
Brogdon likes that spot. We've seen her shoot from there before, earlier in the game.
Pass down low is telegraphed. Jessica Baker with a steal. Now the Lady Hillmen come back with a chance to tie. There's a long 2 on the way, but no good. Rebound comes back to McGordy. McGordy drives, and it's blocked, so it will remain Lady Hillmen.
Shauna Ladder, nice block in there, good defense. Although the Miners had cement feet on that rebound, no one went for the ball.
There's a 3 on the way. Off the top of the backboard. No good, but the rebound comes to Brogdon. Dishes it back out. Brogdon with a step to the right. Blocked. Ball loose. Placer picks it up. 11 on the shot clock. There's a 3 on the way, and that's good.
So Placer now, they're only going to give her 2 points on that, Steve. It's 29-29.
Bailey McGordy. Defensive pressure down low by Placer. And he drives left, and there's going to be a block called on Stephanie Noble.
Miners with no fouls for the half, only 2 fouls, now 3. So there won't be any bonus free throws coming up.
And Nevada Union will take a timeout now with 3:40 left on the clock. Score all tied up, 29-29. Seeing two very evenly matched basketball teams with very similar playing styles.
And you know, Steve, you love to watch these JVs play at this level. It just means they're going to feed a very good system above them. I won't be surprised if some of these sophomores, as the year progresses, will actually move up to varsity.
Well, Nevada Union with 12 sophomores on their team are certainly looking to add something to the crew that they have now, which does include 1 freshman and 1 sophomore. So there is some definite competition for these starting spots, not only for next year, but even for this year. You never know what can happen in the course of a year, and with 12 sophomores to choose from on junior varsity, you just never know when that's going to come in handy.
Officials are calling for the teams to come back on the floor. Placer will have the ball under the basket. I beg your pardon. Yes, they will be taking the ball out. No, it's actually a Miners ball. I thought so, Steve.
Good try. McGordy was looking to take advantage there. Let's pass out to Willis. Willis drives and puts it in for an easy 2.
Nice little stutter step dribble into the basket.
Miners hang on to a 2-point lead. There's a screen up top, dish down low, shot blocked. And we're going to have a jump ball called. Avery Delez and Jessica Baker struggling for it. Possession arrow will stay with Nevada Union. And sort of an interesting full court press being put on now by the Lady Hillmen. Nevada Union breaks it somewhat easily. Willis drives down the right, and she's going to get a blocking foul called against Placer, which will be their 4th.
Placer's got to be careful here. They don't want to go into the penalty this late in the game. 3:12 left.
And at this stage, free throws could become important. So NU gets a chance to set up. There's a 2 on the way, and that's good. Sophie Humphers puts it in from the corner, and it's now a 2-possession game with 3 minutes left. 33-29, Nevada Union. Placer dribbles in, gets kicked away. I believe a foul will be called before the ball falls out of bounds. That
Mike
foul will be on Greta Kramer.
Mike, thank you.
So there's the first team foul of the half for Nevada Union. Placer looking to get the ball inbounds, and they do. There's a drive down the side. Willis may have gotten away with a push, and this will be, this will end up as neither a steal nor a backcourt violation. As Humphers touches it, now it's stolen away. Lady Miners had numbers, but it's batted away. Placer comes up with it, and now they have a 3-on-3. And there's another steal. Greta Kramer now. Nevada Union wisely slowing the pace. There were some hockey-style turnovers. Now NU gets it down, and the easy layup, Shauna Ladder. That makes it 35-29.
That's good team basketball just when they need it. Ladder inside.
Pass down low, broken up by Ladder. Now Placer will inbound under the basket. Pass down low, the shot no good, but it will get McGordy to the line shooting 2.
That will be on Ladder. Amazingly, only the 2nd foul of the half for NU.
That's all right, Shauna.
And these are the first free throws, I believe, of the 2nd half. First one hits a back corner and bounces away. It's still a 6-point game. Second shot rims out. Rebound taken Nevada Union. Willis gets trapped in the corner but does draw the 5th foul against Placer. And here we have Nevada Union's first substitution of the quarter. Miranda Townsend will be coming in for Greta Kramer. Willis to inbound. NU doing a good job breaking that press consistently and quickly. Placer tries to trap in the corner, but they dribble out. Townsend looking to pass it down. Ball knocked out of her hands, but it will be a foul on Adya Harbor.
That'll be your 6th foul. Next foul, they'll go into the one-on-one bonus. And Steve, I think Placer's going to take a timeout with 1:42 left on the clock.
Yeah, Coach Means takes a timeout here just to reset. What little momentum there has been in this game has now shifted to Nevada Union, and he wants to get his girls energized and back in this game.
To Placer's credit, they made a great run there early in the 4th quarter, making some 3 balls. But the Miners rose to the occasion, came back with their own offense, and scored enough points now to lead by 6.
And I think that full court press by Placer has really just hurt them. Nevada Union showing absolutely no problem in breaking it, getting down court easily, and that's resulted in some pretty easy points, especially for the standard set early in this game.
I agree. The press will either make you or break you, and in this case, I don't think it served to the benefit of Placer.
Placer does seem to be slightly faster and slightly taller than Nevada Union, but you wouldn't know it to see these Lady Miners play. They are holding their own. Willis inbounds. Townsend brings it up. Crosses right, long pass down to the corner. Down to Willis. Willis takes one step. Rebound taken Placer, but it's knocked away. Delez drives with the left hand, but is fouled before the shot is off. So this will result in a 1-and-1 and Placer's 7th foul of the half. And this is crucial that she hits this first one. That would make it a 7-point lead and most likely a 3-possession game, but it rolls out. Willis gets the easy rebound. All the Lady Hillmen thought it was a shooting foul. So Nevada Union gets an easy 2.
That was a gift, no question.
Now it's an 8-point game. There's the drive down low shot, no good. Ball squirts out to Townsend. Townsend gets it knocked away, but Avery Delez will reel it in, give it back to Townsend. 1 minute now left in the game, 37-29. Willis gets it now.
Mike.
Pass out to Delez. Delez with the left hand, no good. Rebound taken, Ladder. Back out, shot from the elbow, no good. Rebound taken, Baker. 3-possession game, 45 seconds left. Pass anticipated by Townsend. Townsend easily gets it, drives. Squirts out of her hand, however. And now Placer will have it, 35 seconds.
Townsend trying to find Humphreys, should have taken that shot.
There's a 2 on the way, no good. Rebound almost taken by Ladder, but it rolls off her leg. So now 25.9 seconds left. 8-point game, 37-29. There's the pass blocked, but a foul will be called on the wrist against Shauna Ladder.
I like Shauna Ladder's game. She's got a good defensive presence in there, does do some scoring, but I think she'll mature nicely into a varsity player next year, probably start.
And McGordy with her 3rd free throw of the half and misses all 3. But she nails her 4th, 37-30. And with no shot clock, Nevada Union could potentially, once they clear half court, just run this clock out. 15 seconds. Coach Means is vehement in putting some pressure, but there isn't any. And now Willis back over. Nevada Union in no hurry.
3 seconds.
And a long three at the buzzer, almost good, out of the hands of Miranda Townsend. But it doesn't matter. Nevada Union puts on a strong fourth quarter, breaks the press of Placer, and comes out victorious 37-30. Good showing from both of these junior varsity programs.
That's our bonus coverage. Of course, later on, we'll have the varsity girls come out here. We'll look at John McDaniels and have an interview at halftime. And
right. We've got a lot of good stuff on tap tonight.
Absolutely. Gil Dominguez will be out. Actually, we're told now that he will be out pregame and talk to John McDaniels. But with that said, this is Touchdown Production Sports Network. We'll be right back. You're getting really good at that, Steve.
And Trips Auto Body and Paint Shop understands your frustration when they do. They work on all makes and models and have been serving Nevada County for 3 generations. Trips is a proud member of the AAA Repair Network, and their technicians are I-CAR Gold Class professionals. Trips works with all insurance companies and is a direct repair facility for AAA. Voted Nevada County's best, it's Trips Auto Body. It's time to visit the newly remodeled B&C True Value Home and Garden Center. The new B&C has completely changed for your shopping convenience. Their new expanded garden center has everything you need, including expert advice on trees, shrubs, and perennials. Check out their new website and the new spring hours. And thank you for voting B&C the best hardware and building supply in 2012. So start right, start here at B&C True Value Home and Garden Center.
Anything Green Hydroponics is your source for hydro systems, grow lights, and soils. Anything Green offers a complete range of organic nutrients as well as fungicides, miticides, and predatory bugs. Anything Green Hydroponics has just received this year's soil. Get your totes, pallets, or individual bags. Stay tuned for future workshops. It's all at Anything Green Hydroponics.
Welcome to Plaza Tire and Automotive Service in Grass Valley. At Plaza Tire and Automotive Service, the customer comes first. We only do what's right for the customer, not necessarily what's right for business. Third generation family member, learned all that I know from my Grandpa Fred, my dad, my Uncle Mike, my grandma. My entire family's been a huge part of learning about the automotive industry. Grass Valley is our 4th location, and you can also find us in Colfax, Penn Valley, and Nevada City. I am Blake Hauser, and I welcome you to join us for the grand opening at our Grass Valley location.
Back here at Allied Gymnasium, pre-game before this preseason game against the Placer Hillmen Lady Miners. And the Placer Hillmen and the Lady Miners. Steve Sitter along with Paul Brown here bringing this game. Steve, you had some comments about this team and the personnel on the Placer team. Give me your thoughts.
Well, just glancing through the season stats, Placer is 6-2, which is a very respectable start. But looking through their team stats, their 2 big stars really are that. Raquel Corarte and Bailey Vanderdoes are this team. Those 2 are the leaders in points per game, field goal percentage, rebounds per game, steals, and blocks. So They play everywhere, and they play hard. Nevada Union, conversely, very much a team basketball mentality. Sammy DeHart, Grace Pay, Sarah Lundmark, AC Willis, they all have very specific strengths, and they really model their game out of those strengths. They're not a powerhouse team. They will wear you down.
Right, I know. And, you know, John McDaniel likes to play his players in groups, but he is also quite good about key matchups. If he sees a player that needs to match up, he knows the strengths, especially on defense, of each of his girls, and he will change the matchup in a heartbeat. With that said, it looks like Gil Dominguez will be giving us an interview with John McDaniel shortly. Placer is 6-2 for the season. We saw the Hillmen about 2 weeks ago here on the Game of the Week. They were looking very, very strong. Some of the key players, Sammy DeHart, of course, the senior. We saw her last year, 6 foot. She's already agreed to go to Chico and play next year. And it looks like we're ready to go to Gil Dominguez, who is down there with Tony Camillucci. Gil.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Paul. We are down here courtside with the captain of the Hillmans, the leader of the ship, Coach Camillucci. And Coach, another trip for you to the Ally Gymnasium.
Yeah, it's good to be back. It's been a while since we've been up here.
And it's always good to see you. And as many of you guys know, we've been doing this show now for 18 years, 18 seasons, and saw my very first Tony Camillucci game over at Bear River, probably in 1998, that second season in there.
Yeah, 99 would have been my second season, yeah.
So long-time relationship here, and one of the great coaches in the PVL and in the foothills. Coach, I happened to take a peek at the standings today. You guys are doing pretty good preseason.
Yeah, we had a rough start with our foundation game, and then ran into a buzzsaw at St. Francis. And then we did well in the Live Oak tournament, did well last weekend. When we're healthy, we're really, really good. Now, tonight we got Raquel out. She's averaging about a double-double, but her ankles hurt her ankle. But the rest of us are healthy. So, yeah, it's been a good start.
Now, you know, you've coached a lot of different seasons here. You can really gauge, you know, where the team's going to go kind of early on. What kind of team we got this year for the Hillmen?
I think we can compete for the PVL. Offensively, we're behind. Defensively, we're ahead. Typically, it's the other way around for my teams. We're really focused on defense this year. So we'll see how that plays out toward the end of the year. I'm hoping it pays off.
Now, one of the big stories last week, of course, was, and we talked a little bit about this on the phone today, Dwayne Gansky getting his 600th career coaching victory. What kind of milestone is that as a coach?
I can't even count that high, so I don't know. If you think a 20-win season is a really good season, so you start adding that up to try to get to 600.
5 for 100.
That's a lot of seasons. So, yeah, that's a great milestone for him. He's a good guy. He's a good coach. He deserves it, so hopefully he'll stick around and keep coaching.
Well, and he's also the athletic director this year as well, so that adds an extra layer, kind of like Mark Lee.
Yeah, this adds a bigger pile on his desk every day. More emails to answer, and I don't know how Coach Lee does it. I'm sure Gansky's super busy too, but those are two of probably the toughest jobs on a campus right there, so it takes a special person to pull that off.
And speaking of the Hillmen, how are the boys doing? Looks like they were doing pretty good in the standings as well.
Yeah, they're like 8-1 or 9-1. They're at home against Woodland tonight. They're a young team, but they've got a sophomore sensation, about 6'7" kid, and a lot of really good guards that shoot the lights out. I've only seen them play once in the foundation game. I'm looking forward to league starting so we could have a night off and watch them play.
Right, on the opposite night, then you get to play. And before we let you go here, we were not able to come down for that Placer football game, 63-59.
Oh.
I think you were on the sidelines doing chain gang. What kind of game is it when you score 113 points in a high school football game?
Well, you're doing the chains. It's exhausting. I earned my nachos that game, I'll tell you what. It was exciting for fans, I'm sure. Terrifying for a defensive coordinator. It was a great game. It was fun to watch. I obviously wish we would have come out on top. But it's just two really good offensive teams. And, I think they're good defensively, too. It just, that night, the offense shined.
Well, that's got to be the most points that I've ever heard of scored in a high school football game.
That's, more than we typically score in a basketball game. So, yeah, that's amazing. But like I said, fun to watch.
Well, listen, I wanted to be sure to get a little chat with you in here before game time, taking on the Lady Miners tonight. You guys played them last year. We hope that kind of tradition continues.
Yeah, I'm willing to keep them on the schedule year after year now. I really like the head coach. He does a great job. It's a good drive. It's not too far. And there used to be a rivalry. Some of the kids were talking in the car on the way up. Didn't this used to be a rivalry way back when? Yeah, like in the 80s when I was in high school. So it's good that maybe we can get that rivalry going again.
Well, let's hope so.
Yeah.
So welcome to the Ally, and I'm sure that we'll see you down there at the Earl Crab.
I can't wait to see you down there, and thanks for being here tonight. It's good to see you again, Gil.
All right, Tony Camillucci right there as we take a break right here, get ready for our second break. When we come back, we will talk to John McDaniel from the Lady Miners. You are watching the NorCal Game of the Week. We'll be right back.
Hello, I'm Dr. Victoria Tutak, and welcome to Advanced Chiropractic Centers. Are you tired of living with debilitating pain, physically impacting the quality of your life? Here at Advanced Chiropractic Centers, we offer a variety of options. We are a result-driven office devoted to your health care. My name is Dr. T, and I look forward to meeting your health care needs.
Are you ready to buy or sell your home or property? Placer Title is your local title and escrow company located right here in the heart of Nevada County. We combine the stability of a national insurer with all the benefits of on-site title and escrow professionals. Being voted the best title company by the union readers for the past 7 years is a true testament to our local roots and unparalleled customer service. Stop by one of our 2 convenient locations, and thank you for keeping your business local.
We're at SPD Market in Nevada City asking people what they like about SPD.
I've been shopping here for about 20 years, and the people are very courteous, and I especially like the meat counter. It's nice. You have a great selection, very helpful.
Because it's local, it's small, they have wonderful selections of things I need, and the personnel are very nice.
And that's why people love SPD Markets in Nevada City and Grass Valley. And of course, brought to you by Touchdown Productions, the Foothills leader in sports television. This is Gil Dominguez saying thanks a lot for tuning in tonight. Oh, all right. I still hear the audio from the promo. So, all right. With us right now is John McDaniel, coach of the Lady Miners. John, little pregame show here. Placer's in the house. What a fun game.
Love it. It's old school rivalry.
Well, Tony was saying some of the girls in the car on the way down here were saying, wasn't this a rivalry a long time ago?
It definitely was. When I was in high school, we wanted to beat 2 teams, and it was Placer and Colfax, and so. You know, it's good stuff.
It is, and he was very happy that you guys, both of you, were bringing the rivalry back, and especially with the football team playing Placer now. I think that's something that the Foothill community really wants to see.
Yeah, you know, we go down the hill so often, and, you know, Auburn is half an hour away, and, you know, some of the girls know the other girls, and they play with them. And, you know, for me, it takes me back to my high school days where we used to play them at least once or twice every year, and they used to be in our league. And so getting that going again is pretty fun.
Now, the Lady Miners are right in the thick of it in the preseason. What's the early assessment on the team?
Well, we've been playing really well. We've been playing a lot of top-ranked teams. We've been doing it without our studs, AC and Sammy DeHart. We've been competing, and we've got 2 wins and some quality losses as well, I would call them, where we've lost by a couple points here and there to really good teams. And so right now we're looking to get those 2 healthy. AC is going to return tonight for limited action, and Sammy is going to be out until probably after Christmas.
What's the injury there?
Sammy was intentionally fouled at a tournament game, and it ended up with her going to the floor, and she got a concussion. So.
Wow, not something that you normally see in basketball.
No, it was definitely what I would call a dirty play, and the other coach kind of saw it too that way, and so the referees. And it's just one of those things you wish you could go back and change it because it's kind of a senseless thing. But she's optimistic she'll return by the time we get back around January 3rd.
So what was the diagnosis of that? Was that diagnosed right on the bench right at that moment?
No, we kind of had a feeling, though, so we sent her to the ER. And we were in Stockton at the time, and the guy saw her and said, yeah, she's definitely got a concussion. Mild. It's not serious, but she's been out of school. And she'll come back to school probably Thursday. she'll travel with us on Friday and Saturday down at this tournament, and girls just love having her around, even though she's hurt and she's still a leader.
So Thursday, coming back to school Thursday, school's out Friday. So is that you have to come back to school in order to play over the Christmas holiday, or can you?
No, she'll be good to play when she's cleared over the holiday. We've made arrangements so she doesn't have to take her finals, and we're just looking forward to getting them back and healthy.
Well, see that there you go. Don't take the finals. That Paul something is. He's going to be interested in that. He works on strings there.
Yeah.
No, Sammy DeHart is a good student anyway, so it's not a matter of giving her any extra credit. But when you're injured like that, and especially with concussion, probably studying for finals is hard to do.
Yeah, definitely. That's why they gave her a break, and she'll take them when she comes back.
Now, what do you know about the Lady Hillmen? They're off to a fast start.
Yeah, I know they've got size. They've got some talent inside and outside, and they're going to be a tough matchup for us for sure.
Well, how are you going to dissect them?
Well, we're having trouble putting the ball in the basket right now, to be honest, and so we got to play incredibly good defense. So we're looking to hold them, under 10 a quarter, and then hopefully we can put in 10 or more a quarter.
I noticed that I was watching the foothill game today, and early on in the first quarter, the balls just wasn't dropping.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I'm used to scoring a ton of points, and when you get a different set of girls, you got to just figure out what their strengths are. And these girls can play defense, and their strength isn't putting it in the hole, but with their defense, they've been keeping themselves in games.
Now you open up league against Del Oro, right?
Yeah, we played Del Oro and then Oak Ridge back to back.
And Del Oro's that game's going to be here.
Yeah, Del Oro here and Oak Ridge away.
So tough start to the league.
Yeah, two top section teams, but we set our preseason schedule up to where we face tough opponents, and so I think we'll be ready to go.
And then taking a look at the standings today, the two new teams in the league, Folsom and Oak Ridge, are really lighting it up.
Yeah, the two powerhouse teams that they brought over to make that Super League, and so we went from being top to maybe average. Who knows?
All right, well, listen, game's about to start here. We'll let you go. Thanks a lot for joining us on the pregame show, and we'll see you here in a couple of weeks as the Golden Eagles come into the Ally.
Thanks.
All right, there he is, John McDaniel, as the Lady Miners get set to do battle against the Placer Lady Hillmen, who are really on a bit of a roll. When we take a look at the standings later, you'll see they're 6-1 or something like that. They're really off to a good start, and Folsom picking up right where they left off as well. And Oak Ridge, like he said, top teams, new teams in the league. It's going to make it interesting here in the SFL. Let's get ready for the tip-off right now and go back to Paul and Steve. Guys, back to you.
And for those of you that are wondering, that is a real beard. He isn't dressed up just for Christmas. That is our beloved Gilbert M. Dominguez, Santa Claus, as we know him here this time of the year. So, Steve Sitter, we got some interesting information from John McDaniel about his team. We have to talk about this. Sammy DeHart being out. Sammy, my favorite player on the team. We were talking about her earlier. It's really sad to hear that she had a concussion and isn't going to be playing tonight.
Yeah, and that really is huge. But when you look at the grand scheme of things, with Sammy DeHart out with a concussion, AC Willis on limited duty.
Right.
That really does do a pretty good job of balancing out the absence for Placer of Raquel Quirarte, who was out with an ankle injury, as you heard Coach Camillucci say earlier. So suddenly we go from Nevada Union with a big advantage with their team basketball and Placer with one of their two stars out to really anything can happen at this point.
I couldn't agree with you more. It really shocks me to hear John say that the Lady Miners are having problems putting the ball in the hole. We are accustomed to seeing a very active offense, and part of it is Sammy. Sammy is a big part of it. It's not unusual for her to get 20 points in any given night.
No, and when you look at their style of play, very team-oriented, it really can be tough if the team as a whole isn't operating at its maximum efficiency. And in the case of Nevada Union, I mentioned this briefly during the Foundation game. Their schedule was packed this month. They were playing game after game after game, and that can get in your head if you have a bad game scoring-wise, and the next game is tomorrow. You'll be thinking about that for the next few games.
That's absolutely true. So both teams now on the sideline. They are gathered with their coaches. 8 minutes on the clock. We will introduce the starters to this semi-packed gymnasium here at Ally. John McDaniel's now looking down at his starters. I would be willing to get it would be AC Willis, most likely Grace Pay, wouldn't you say, Steve? And from there, it's kind of who he decides is a good matchup.
Well, Grace Pay is sitting down, but AC Willis is out on the floor. I don't believe we will be seeing the 5'6" sophomore starting. Really nothing certain tonight.
No, Tony Camillucci out with his girls. I'm not exactly sure what the holdup is, Steve, but you know what? We can talk again about this matchup. Gil mentioned it before at pregame. It used to be a big rivalry, these two teams. It still is in football.
Well, as a Bear River graduate, I only got the opportunity to play against Placer and Nevada Union in the preseason, and even then, you know, it was just one game, and I only remember playing Placer once. But it was it really was a lot of fun, and more than that, there were some of those players on the Placer team that I eventually played with later on in college or in summer leagues. So to build that kind of camaraderie within the community is very important. We've got some confusion going on at the scorer's table. I believe Paul has some more information now.
Yeah, we're waiting for both teams to match up their players list pre-game. They didn't apparently have time to do that, so they are taking time now to make sure that is correct.
Well, you really have to prepare for an interview with Gil Dominguez.
You really do. You really never know what exactly he's going to say, and the coaches know it. He was talking, and then he alluded to something about finals with me. I'm not sure I've ever discussed my finals with him, but he can only guess. I never studied for one, and I rarely pass them.
So if you're wondering how you become a play-by-play commentator, there you go, kids. Rousing endorsement from Paul Brown.
Ally now continues to fill up. Lady Miners 7-2 this year. John speaking about some quality losses, and you know that's actually not as funny as it sounds. There's the Girls Sierra Foothill League. Folsom at 6-1, Oak Ridge 6-1, Del Oro 6-1, and the Miners will start two of their first games with two of those teams, Steve.
And there's no better way to get ready for league than playing the best teams. Mm-hmm. That'll really get you into shape quickly, and you realize what you have to do to be successful in this league. And you look at the girls' PVL standings. Placer on top 6-2. Lincoln, Colfax, Foothill all mashed in there. Center at 2-4, and Bear River still looking for their first win. But now we'll go down courtside for the player introductions.
Between the Placer Lady Hillmen and your Nevada Union Lady Miners. Now we ask you to please rise in honor of America as Ali McDaniel will sing our national anthem.
And we'll take time for the national anthem.
That was Allie McDaniel with the national anthem, and what a way to kick off the night.
Wow, that was really impressive. So first for Placer. Number 4, Sydney Wegner. Number 11, Mandy Hernandez. Nicole Lee is number 14. She'll start. And there is big number 34, Vanderdoes, Bailey. And rounding out, 35, Gabby Baker.
Both their 6'1" juniors are starting.
And let's see who John McDaniel decides to put on the court tonight. There's a good call. Ella will start tonight, Ella Walton. And of course, Grace Pay, number 5. Jan Becker will start tonight. She'll get the nod at guard, the senior. Sarah Lundmark. She'll play forward, and of course at center. And Goldsvig, Grace Goldsvig. And you know, last time we saw Grace play, she clearly was the most improved player, if you recall, doing some good defense.
Absolutely, and you have to remember she is just a freshman. So she has still a long ways to go and a lot to learn.
John McDaniel very wise in getting his freshmen in the game early and building the structure for the team and later on. So the Hillmen will come out in green. They clearly have a height advantage.
Yeah, both Bailey Vanderdoes and Gabby Baker are 6'1" juniors, and the only 6-foot player on the court for Nevada Union is the freshman Grace Goldsvig.
Baker will tee off and start with Goldsvig. Placer will take the first possession. And immediately another jump ball. I think possession will go to... No, they will re-jump the ball. This will be interesting. It will be... They were going to put number 24 in, and I believe they still will. That's Jen Baker. If they put Jen in, she could barely see the top of the head of Gabby Baker.
That is an 8-inch difference.
And they'll throw it up, and imagine that. Placer's got the ball. Quickly in and down court. Placer will set up. The 3-ball, long ball, in and out, and the Miners will clear. That was Hernandez. Looking to set up with Jen Baker. Jen not seeing the pass. Not accustomed to the starting role, Jen Baker.
She is the second shortest player on these combined rosters, but only by an inch.
She's even shorter than Gil Dominguez. That's a quick 2 points. Good inside basket by Goldsvig.
You better be nice to Gil. He's going to give you a cold this year.
That'd be the only thing he's ever given me. Now inside, good defense. Grace Pay picking it up, looking over the court. Pay wants to clear. There's the first 3-ball of the night from the Miners. That's no good. That was Becker. Quick inside with the left hand, no good. Inside clearing the boards. In and out again. No full court press by the Hillmen. Becker now gets away with a double dribble. Back out to Pay. Pay now finds underneath, and good defense.
And they're going to have a jump ball called immediately. And the possession arrow will stay with Nevada Union. Placer playing very tight defense under the basket.
It's Ella Watson losing the ball underneath. Now they're going to talk.
It looks like the referees are going to confer here.
And they're talking about the shot clock. They've been having some scoreboard problems tonight, and the shot clock was back at 30. It may have inadvertently been reset. Pay will inbound. Golsvig, the long ball, in and out, and in and out again. So here comes Placer. They're going to try and run. Back quickly now is the Miners.
Strength is definitely the Lady Miners.
Is their defense, no doubt, Steve. Showing it again with a turnover. Miners not moving their feet here. Pay looking for some inside, and nothing happened there. Taking it herself now, will be fouled under the basket.
NU actually has been doing a pretty good job of boxing out under the Placer basket. They've gotten some pretty decent looks. Just nothing gotten that proper roll.
Grace Pay getting her third point of the night. And 4. So Miners off to a good start here. Placer will be looking inside to their big players out front now. A roller and a 3-ball.
There's Vanderdoes.
Vanderdoes is a presence under the basket, no doubt about it. She likes to shoot from the 3 line. Very strong. Golsvig looking inside, looking for the pick and roll, not there.
Bit of a miscommunication. These, if you'll pardon the phrase, these big men for Placer are surprisingly mobile.
Yeah, they get down the court quickly. Another long ball up and away. Vanderdoes. Pay's going to try and take it herself all the way inside, and no good. Quickly inside, getting a rebound. That's aggressively rebounding by Golsvig.
As our first substitution of the game, Raven Lewis will come in for Nicole Lee.
Pay inbounding. Golsvig. Lundmark. Now back to Pay. Lundmark likes to shoot from out there. No, not this time. Ella. And that's not the shot they were looking for, running down the shot clock. Becker not able to even get it to the basket. Here comes Placer. Again from the top of the key, and good. Wow, Bailey Vanderdoes. She is fearless out there.
And she has all 5 of Placer's points.
Pay getting inside and not able to get it up there. Vanderdoes looming, looking for the block. Now Placer basically runs into a wall.
I think this foul might be on Pay.
I guess she reached in that time, Steve.
Yeah, there were a couple Miners that just converged, and yeah, they're going to call it grab. And AC Willis will now come into the game for Jen Becker.
So let's see, AC's been out for a couple of weeks. Let's see how she does. She was going to get limited action, we're told. Another long ball up and out quickly. Vanderdoes picking up the rebound and putting it down. Miners 4, Placer 7, early moments of the first quarter. AC driving. That's her shot, not close though, and she will be fouled. That is AC Willis. That's her game right there. Getting her own rebound and putting it back up. She'll go to the line.
I think Nevada Union needs to get some of that fearlessness into their offensive game and force Placer into some foul trouble and get those 6'1" players out of the game.
Well, as you've described her in the past, AC Willis is her her defense has been described as nothing short of annoying. She will not stop. Now she's second free throw, and she makes them both. 6-7 now. Placer. Top of the key one more time. Quick jump shot and down. Bailey Vanderdost, they don't have anybody that can guard her, Steve.
Well, she's showing you why she's leading points per game.
In and out, and that time Vanderdost allowed the basket to get inside. Goldsvig getting a quick 2, keeping the Miners in this game.
Placer doing a great job of spreading out their offensive attack.
There's a 3 ball by Vanderdost that doesn't go. AC inside, backing in, unable to score, and here comes Placer.
I think AC was going more for the foul and less for the shot.
Vanderdost driving the right side. Grace Pay trying for the basket. Decides to come back out with it.
Rodriguez, nice pass inside.
Rodriguez and then Goldsvig, neither one able to score. Here's the 3 ball. Placer, no good. Raven Lewis.
And we'll get a few more subs. Gabby Baker will come back in.
AC comes back out again. Shows a nice couple of minutes.
Ella. You're 4 out.
Miners looking inside now. Placer going to a man-to-man. Big players out. Good left-handed scoop shot, no good by Rodriguez. Hernandez. Now cross-court path. Burchell. Hernandez from the top of the key, good. Mandy Hernandez scores her first points of the game. 2 minutes left in the first.
We are seeing 2 very different styles of offensive play from these teams.
Certainly the Miners are the more aggressive defensive team, but it appears that the Miners don't have the firepower that the Hillmen do offensively.
Well, Placer, let's not overstate the match. Placer is throwing up a lot of bombs, and the few that are landing are very impressive, but still a very low percentage. And Nicole Lee will come back in for Maddie Hernandez.
Miners inbounding the ball now. Pay looking inside. She'll try for the inside, and it's Lundvig. Aaron Ball gets her own rebound. Back up, no good. Inside Goldvig gets another rebound. Offensively, Miners controlling the boards. Here's a block of that inbound pass, Steve.
Oh, this is Hernandez. Hernandez just doing a good job. Timing, goes up both hands, blocks it like a goalie.
Raven Lewis now will handle the ball out front. Quick across-court pass, and the long ball no good. Baker able to get the rebound. Gabby Baker, almost as tall as Vanderdost, is also a junior. Underhand scoop shot, no good. Another rebound by Goldsvig. Pay. No, good look, but an air ball.
Now some more Nevada Union subs coming in. Wilcoxon and Yakas. Yakas, the other 6-foot player. Under a minute now, 12-8 Placer.
And a great steal that time. Again, the Miners showing their defense. Rodriguez out in front, looking for Yakis, and now Yakis with the ball. Good inside, Ella Watson, and not able to score. That's the third possession down the floor that the Miners haven't been able to score. Getting good quality shots though, Steve.
And Placer now with no shot clock can afford to just hang on and get a solid shot, but they give it away.
Here comes the Miners.
5 seconds.
Lunsby gets one, gets two, one more shot, and I think they're going to give it to her.
They are.
They are. Great comeback. Yakis, Audrey Yakis getting that last second shot up to bring the Miners to within two, 10-12 at the end of the first quarter. Steve, John McDaniel was not kidding. This team struggles to score. They don't have that outside threat. There's your touchdown production scoreboard. It shows NU with 10, and it will also show the Placer Hillmen with 12.
And these two teams, at least defensively, are running basically stride for stride. Nevada Union playing a more tenacious style of basketball because they are somewhat outmanned. But really, they're keeping pace with a very tough, very big Placer team.
When you have players like Bailey Vanderdoss and Gabby Baker on the floor, how do you match that size when you have a team the size that that the Miners have? And, you know, they're doing quite a good job just with hustle.
And I can tell you exactly why. Nevada Union 4 steals, Placer 0.
Placer will start the possession for the second quarter. Same team on the floor. Vanderdoss in the corner. Now cross pass. That's Hernandez. Hernandez back to Vanderdoss, and from her shot in the front of the key, no good. Rebounded quickly. Camillucci. Rodriguez keeping the ball inside, getting a good pass and a quality shot, but it does not fall. And another three ball. Mandy Hernandez is finally finding her stride.
A travel called on Nevada Union. And Willis will come in now for Ella Walton. Placer up 17-10 early in the second quarter.
Good steal, that's AC. Let's see if she can get it all the way to the basket, and does, and scores.
I was really expecting her to dish it off with a 3-on-2 developing. And Melissa Wilcoxon will be warned for a delay of game. I'm guessing she knocked the ball away after the basket. And we'll see this. Willis with a great steal and just takes it right past Mandy Hernandez. You see, there's the 3-on-2 developing, and she just goes straight to the corner. And that's a bit of a hokey delay of game, but it's early yet.
Top of the key one more time, just off the front rim, no good. Here come the Miners, down 5 points. Rodriguez out to Yakis. Here's Rodriguez again to AC. AC likes that drive, that middle lane, no good, but underneath the basket, quickly back up again. Great play, Wilcoxon, Melissa Wilcoxon. Just good position basketball that time. Placer around the key. Hernandez, and a long, long three ball goes down. Arbor Burchell shot one from the NBA line and put it in the hole. Both teams will substitute shortly. Yakis Cutting through. There's Yakis. She'll try the free ball. It's blocked. And it will be a Placer ball. Nice defense that time by Vanderdoss.
Definitely not Yakis' comfort zone either in that corner.
I don't think she really wanted to be there, and nor did she want to shoot that shot.
I'm not sure anyone in the building wanted her to shoot that shot.
Hernandez. She'll shoot from the top of the key and score. Wow, this Placer Hillmen team's got a lot of firepower, Steve, no doubt about it.
Placer was just 2 for 8 from beyond the arch in the first quarter. Now they're 3 for 4.
Well, it'll be easy for the Miners to lose control of this game if they can't put some points on the board.
No, they really need to slow the pace of this game.
They need to use every bit of that 30-second clock and get quality shots. Inside now, great reverse move. That's Gabby Baker.
And Coach McDaniel, perhaps reading my mind, calls the timeout after a very, very dominant run by the Lady Hillmen.
Steve, you and I have been doing basketball, the lady basketball games now for 3 seasons, and I'll tell you, this Placer team, boy, they've got some real players, unlike maybe any team I've seen come to Ally in the last couple of years.
Well, watching them spread their offense across the whole court, it's really reminiscent. It's like watching a football game where they're just setting the wide receivers out very wide.
Right.
You don't know where they're going to go. And we've seen them skip passes across the three-point line, and it opens up not only the three-point shot, which just glancing at my stats here, they're about 40%. Which is a spectacular turnaround from the first quarter. But it's opening up those inside passes since it forces the Lady Miners to play up to them as opposed to sitting back and letting the steals come to them.
Here comes AC, and Ace's going to catch a foul. Yeah, the Placer team, although they've got a serious height advantage, really doesn't play an inside game, Steve.
No, and I've got something special lined up for halftime also that will really highlight that point.
AC, the first one is good.
AC Willis coming off the bench is Nevada Union's leading scorer with 5 points.
And now 6. They will get a quick horn and they'll let in for the Miners. They will make a substitution. Back in the game now will be Jen Baker.
Toweling off some moisture over next to the Nevada Union bench.
One of the quietest gyms I can remember in any game we've ever done. This is a very either respectful or maybe everybody's thinking about their Christmas shopping.
Exactly, I was just thinking that.
Top of the key shot again is good. Bailey Vanderdoss, she has a spot on the top of the key, and when she gets that, she takes it.
You just don't expect a 6'1" junior to be able to shoot with that kind of consistency.
With her size, I'd like to see her follow her shooting. Long ball now off the back of the rim, no good. That was Jen Baker.
And Grace Gulsvig is going to be called for a foul going for that rebound.
4 minutes left to play in the second quarter. Miners trailing 16-28. Quick inside, another turnover by the Hillmen. AC Willis will bring it up. There's Jen. Back to Gulsvig, no good. Grace just missing the basket, and it'll be off of Placer.
Baker just couldn't handle the, must have been the spin coming off the rim, just kind of rolled right out of her hand.
AC now looking for the corner. She's not going to get it.
Great pass, though, to get out of that trap.
And another good basket attempt by Gulsvig, and I believe she will get a foul.
Willis and Baker, I think, are going to be called for a jump ball. And the possession arrow stays with Nevada Union.
Goldsvig down the lane. Just can't seem to buy a basket. Getting some good shots. Gets her own rebound. Quickly to Pay. Pay will scoop it in. 18 now for the Miners. Down by 10.
That's the shot they need to fall.
And one thing, they are getting a lot of their own rebounds, Steve. Their offensive rebounds are doing really well, but they're going to have to get some cold shooting hands by this Placer team if they're going to get back in it. Pay leading the charge now. Quick inside to Goldsvig, who loses the ball out of bounds.
And we'll see the action inside. Goldsvig goes up, and that's a shot that they really need to fall right now, but just no give up in this Nevada Union team. AC Willis is 5'6", and she was fighting with a 6'1" junior.
Back to live action now. Placer trying inside, will go for the 3 ball on the outside, and why not? Mandy Hernandez scores another one from downtown. 31-18 now. Placer leads.
Couple of near misses there for Nevada Union.
Lundmark now. Jen Berker.
Down to 8 seconds.
Lundmark's going to try for a shot. There it is. No good and not even close, and it looks like it will be. It'll stay with the Miners.
Yeah, they're going to say that one off of Sydney Wegner, even though it looked like she got a forearm across the face. Nice pass and a nudge there from Julia Camillucci, knocking Goldsvig off her feet.
No foul call. Goldsvig, though.
And Coach McDaniel will call a 30-second timeout. 31-18, just under 2 minutes left in the first half. And you putting on a little bit of a push here. Getting back in, they were down by around 18. Cutting it to 13 seems like a pretty good accomplishment right now against this very tough Lady Hillmen team.
Honestly, Steve, I see the Hillmen, though, playing a bit down to the Miners. But, you know, the Miners are aggressive defensively and getting an awful lot of their own offensive rebounds. If someone would start to fall, they could pick this score up very quickly.
Yeah, they need to stay composed under the basket. When they get there, they almost sort of panic and just throw the ball up, hoping for a foul call or some other beneficial outcome.
Jen Becker throwing up a 3 ball, no good, and Placer will come back out. There's a travel call, another turnover by the Hillmen. Minute 40 left in the half.
Oh, that was just a lazy pass.
And a quick steal. It will result in a foul.
And that is Placer's first steal of the game. And that one really was just sort of handed to him on a platter.
Neither team in foul trouble. Placer with 4, Miners with only 3 now. Quick pass inside. They'll look inside for Baker, and Baker will be fouled.
They're going to get Becker on a reach-in. She thought she had Baker tied up.
Both teams now with 4 fouls. Wegener inbounds the ball. Lewis. Hernandez would like to take that shot. Hands it off to Lewis, and she's in and out. Grace Pay getting a great pass, and that results in Goldsvig scoring a needed 2.
Now just an 11-point game.
And quickly right back with a 3-ball.
How do you defend that?
Maddie Hernandez, she's just deadly, isn't she?
15 points in the first half. That's certainly one way to put it. And they're going to say this was off Lundmark, so Placer will take it. Here's the fast break from Nevada Union. They work very quickly, and this all starts with a great pass. Grace to Grace. Sees the open passing lane right to Gulsvik. Gulsvik just stops, turns, and puts it in.
Another long ball this time, and it's going to roll in. Raven Lewis getting her second basket of the night from downtown. Seems like everything being put up right now by the Placer Hillmen is going down. Grace getting a good shot inside, not able to convert.
Grace, that's a great take.
15 seconds on the clock. At this rate, down 17. Halftime can't come fast enough to John McDaniel.
No, and I can't imagine that Placer is going to push for a quick basket here. They're going to let time run down.
Run their play inside now. And that's Gabby Baker. Gabby will get the last points of the half as we go in to the locker room. The Miners 20 and the Placer Hillmen 39. Honestly, Steve, I didn't see this kind of lopsided score before the game started.
On paper, these teams are pretty even. I'm a bit surprised myself.
They'll go in that halftime, though, and talk about it. So here at Allied Gymnasium, we'll be back for a second half of basketball. You're watching the NorCal Game of the Week. We'll be right back.
Accidents happen, and Trips Auto Body and Paint Shop understands your frustration when they do. They work on all makes and models and have been serving Nevada County for 3 generations. Trips is a proud member of the AAA Repair Network, and their technicians are I-CAR Gold Class professionals. Trips works with all insurance companies and is a direct repair facility for AAA. Voted Nevada County's best, it's Trips Auto Body. It's time to visit the newly remodeled B&C True Value Home and Garden Center. The new B&C has completely changed for your shopping convenience. Their new expanded garden center has everything you need, including expert advice on trees, shrubs, and perennials. Check out their new website and the new spring hours. And thank you for voting B&C the best hardware and building supply in 2012. So start right, start here at B&C True Value Home and Garden Center.
Anything Green Hydroponics is your source for hydro systems, grow lights, and soils. Anything Green offers a complete range of organic nutrients as well as fungicides, miticides, and predatory bugs. Anything Green Hydroponics has just received this year's soil. Get your totes, pallets, or individual bags. Stay tuned for future workshops. It's all at Anything Green Hydroponics.
Welcome to Plaza Tire and Automotive Service in Grass Valley. At Plaza Tire and Automotive Service, the customer comes first. We only do what's right for the customer, not necessarily what's right for business. Third generation family member, learned all that I know from my Grandpa Fred, my dad, my Uncle Mike, my grandma. My entire family's been a huge part of learning about the automotive industry. Grass Valley is our 4th location, and you can also find us in Colfax, Penn Valley, and Nevada City. I am Blake Hauser, and I welcome you to join us for the grand opening at our Grass Valley location.
We're back at the floor here at Allied Gymnasium here. The Miners trailing the Placer Hillmen 20-39. Steve, let's take a look at the stats here for the first half.
This is very interesting because every single category I have is pertinent to this game. Let's start with the obvious, 3-pointers. Placer was 2 for 8 in the first quarter and 7 for 10 in the second quarter. They were 9 for 18 in the first half, 50%. Wow. And conversely, Nevada Union 0 for 6. So, you know, not a lot of success, but also not a lot of attempts. They know that's kind of a weak spot in their game, and they're moving away from that. And you mentioned offensive rebounds. That is something I was tracking very, very closely. Nevada Union had 11 offensive rebounds, Placer with 4. So they're really dominating. They're getting those second, third, even fourth chance opportunities on occasion. But the big problem is they're not falling. They have all these opportunities down low, and they just can't get them to fall. Defensive rebounds, Placer is up 12-9 against Nevada Union. We got a ball incoming here. Right, Placer. They're recovering quickly, and they're making the most of Nevada Union not making these layups that they are getting on those second, third chance opportunities. And that right now is what's driving Coach McDaniel crazy. He's getting in there. He's getting the opportunities. He's playing the game. The ball's just not falling. And I have to believe some of that is mental because those shots, some of them are very, very open. And Grace Gulsvig, who has 6 points for Nevada Union, I'm sure she's in her own head because she had at least 3 just mop-up easy layups that she had chances to put back in and couldn't. Placer ended up clearing it out. Let's take a look at the top offensive scorers. Grace Gulsvig, AC Willis, both with 6 points. Those are the leading scorers. And then you look at Placer, Maddie Hernandez with 15, Bailey Vanderdoes with 12. And that's more than Nevada Union has combined. They have to find a way to stop those two. Hernandez was just lethal from the three-point line. And they have to find a way to stop that because they're going to take those shots all game if they're going to be as wide open as they were in the first half. You take a look at the turnovers. Placer with 8, Nevada Union with 6. But steals, Nevada Union with 6 and Placer with 2. Nevada Union's defense is standing strong. If they can stop these plays from developing in their own end of the court, they're standing a good chance. But Placer right now, they're just so deadly from the three-point line. Didn't get to the free throw line once, and NU was 6 for 6. And you figure that comes into play a lot of times in these games. But Placer doesn't need the free throw line. They've got the three-point line in their back pocket.
You got to wonder when John McDaniel is going to bring his players out to meet those three-point shooters. But if he does do that, he's going to also open up that inside game that we said is absent from the Hillmen. Let's go to a walk around the foothills here. Here's the girls Sierra Foothill League. We talked about this earlier. Folsom, Oak Ridge, Del Oro, all 6-1, looking really, really strong. Granite Bay 5-2. Then we're followed by Wood Creek, the Miners, and Rockland. That is the girls Sierra Foothill League.
Boy, those top 3 teams are going to be fighting it out all year.
You know, the Folsom boys went undefeated in football. This is a very strong program on both sides, boys and girls. Here's the girls PVL. Placer here, we're watching here, 6-2. Watching this team, Steve, I'll tell you, I wonder who they lost to. They certainly have all the firepower to win the league this year. Followed by Lincoln, 4-2, Colfax, Foothill Center, and then there's Bear River looking for their first win of the season. They are rebuilding this year. We'll probably get a chance to look at the Bear River team before the season's out.
And here's the boys SFL. Folsom 7-0. I'm not sure how they managed 73 straight wins. That is truly incredible. Wood Creek, Nevada Union, and Oak Ridge all 6-1. NU looking very strong this year. Granite Bay 6-2. I'm sure they're going to put on a surge late in the year as they always do. Del Oro 2-3, and Rockland 2-5.
Del Oro is a surprising team. Usually very, very strong. For them to be 2-3 is very surprising. Look for that program to get better as the season goes on. And here's the boys PVL. Placer at 7-1. Looking forward to seeing the Placer during their tournament coming up here that we'll be bringing you in the holiday season just after Christmas. Bear River 4-3, Foothill 3-3, Lincoln 4-4, and followed by Center and then Colfax only 1-3 for the boys PVL this season. Please join us for the league opener this year. Nevada Union Miners against the Del Oro Golden Eagles. Touchdown Productions will bring you that game. Paul Brown and Steve Sitter. You can count on us, and also each week follow us on YouTube, Camcast Channel 11, Suddenlink Channel 16, and of course now with the new Educational Channel 18, you can follow Touchdown Productions.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to miss this next upcoming game. You can contact us. Touchdown Productions NorCal Game of the Week now at Oscar Drive, right by the post office in downtown. TouchdownProductions.com. And we will be right back with the second half of this excellent Lady Minor Placer Lady Hillmen basketball game on your Game of the Week.
Hello, I'm Dr. Victoria Tutak, and welcome to Advanced Chiropractic Centers. Are you tired of living with debilitating pain, physically impacting the quality of your life? Here at Advanced Chiropractic Centers, we offer a variety of options. We are a result-driven office devoted to your health care. My name is Dr. T, and I look forward to meeting your health care needs.
Are you ready to buy or sell your home or property? Placer Title is your local title and escrow company located right here in the heart of Nevada County. We combine the stability of a national insurer with all the benefits of on-site title and escrow professionals. Being voted the best title company by the union readers for the past 7 years is a true testament to our local roots and unparalleled customer service. Stop by one of our 2 convenient locations, and thank you for keeping your business local.
We're at SPD Market in Nevada City asking people what they like about SPD.
I've been shopping here for about 20 years, and the people are very courteous, and I especially like the meat counter. It's nice. You have a great selection, very helpful.
Because it's local, it's small, they have wonderful selections of things I need, and the personnel are very nice.
And that's why people love SPD Markets in Nevada City and Grass Valley. And of course, brought to you by Touchdown Productions, the Foothills leader in sports television. This is Gil Dominguez saying thanks a lot for tuning in tonight. And be sure to stay with us after the game as we present the Touchdown Productions Player of the Game Award, created by Stuckey Engravers. Once again, the Touchdown Productions staff will select the best player of tonight's game and award them with a plaque created by Stuckey's. It's the Touchdown Productions Player of the Game Award coming up right after this exciting sports telecast, right here on your NorCal Game of the Week. Guys, back up to you.
Thank you, Gilbert. Appreciate that. And back into live action immediately. Both teams back on the floor. The same starters on the floor as we saw earlier.
AC Willis is starting for Nevada Union, though.
And long balls are going to continue to drop for the Placer Hillmen. That's Wegener. She'll get the first 3 ball of the half. Miners looking for Willis. Willis will try the baseline. Quick shot underneath, no good. Gets her own rebound. We go to Gulsvig, no good. And the Hillmen will clear it.
And those really are the shots that Gulsvig needs to drain. That's why she's on the court, to clean up those shots.
If the Miners are going to win basketball games this season, they got to get those shots right there to drop. Hillman now looking inside. This is Hernandez. Hernandez back over. Now to Baker, and Baker misses the little hook shot, but will be fouled. And
that was an interesting little cycle. Usually see that in hockey down by the corner, down by the glass. They really did an excellent job of Hernandez dumping the ball over to Baker.
Wagner now, quick shot. Vanderdoss, no good. And the Miners will push it inside quickly, looking for AC, no good. Grace Pay is very good about getting the ball down the court quickly and keeping her head up. Good ball handler.
And a great arm.
Here comes the Hillmans. Hernandez, quick cross-court pass. Vanderdoss will go to the line for 2.
And for the first time tonight, Placer will get free throws.
So at the line, Bailey will shoot a couple. We'll see if she can shoot free throws as well as she shoots the long ball. First one is up and good. That's 43 now for the Hillmen, 20 for the Miners. It's hard to believe that she is a junior. Second one is good.
Hillman on the season about 66% from the free throw line, but Vanderdoes nails them both.
Quickly now out, and the long ball for the Miners. Rodriguez unable to score. Chelsea looking for that corner shot. Miners will go into their full court press, and they immediately get the turnover. AC not able to get the handle on the ground. Lundmark, once again now the 3 ball, again no good. Rodriguez unable to score, and so the words of John McDaniel before the game are coming back. They're having problems putting that ball in the basket.
And certainly not for lack of opportunities.
Speaking of opportunities, here comes AC Willis, and AC will not be getting the foul, and she misses the shot as well. It's clear that Pay is looking for AC on offense. Long ball up and no good. Miners just can't buy a basket, but they can get an offensive rebound.
And Gulsvik draws a foul against Nicole Lee.
In the game now for AC Willis. Will Cox and Melissa will come back in.
Already in this quarter, Nevada Union with 4 offensive rebounds and no baskets.
They also have a big, long possession. They handle the ball for a long time, fortunately. Good block inside, going down the lane. Lundmark, but it is swatted away by Vanderdoes.
Vanderdoes is the team leader in blocks.
Lundmark now looking inside. Pay. Air ball, and then now back to Gulsvik, who gets the one. Good hustle results in a payday now for the Miners, and Miners get it once again. Here's Gulsvik. She's going to be all blocked. Big sky hook by Gulsvik is blocked by Vanderdoes. That's disconcerting. You go in there with your big sky hook, and it's just swatted away, Steve.
Well, she had excellent position. She knew exactly where the shot was going to be and got to a point where she could knock it away.
So John McDaniel will talk to his troops. There's your touchdown production scoreboard.
Miners being outscored 2-1 so far tonight.
And you can see there in the sweats, Sammy DeHart. She, I'm sure, wishes she was in this game. And I'll tell you what, her 15 points plus a game would be certainly needed at this point.
And right now, Grace Gulsvik is being put in the very awkward position of trying to play Sammy DeHart's game. Because that's what Sammy does all night. She not only makes the opportunities for herself, but she plants herself under the basket to put those second chance opportunities back. And she is very consistent. Granted, she also has 3 years more experience than Gulsvik does.
Right. But Gulsvik's a freshman, and, you know, she's playing at a real high level for a freshman in my mind. Both offensively and defensively. She's got a good nose for the ball. Breaking the press now, the Hillmen come up court. There's the shot that she loves and shoots it so well.
Long 2.
Bailey getting 2 ball, foot barely on the line. You don't want to leave her open there. In fact, defensively, you just want to deny her the ball.
There's a miscommunication. Pay throws it away from Lundmark.
Pay will inbound. She'll look inside. She'll see Gulsvik right there in the corner. Gulsvik cross court to the corner and again slapped away.
It's a good take, Gigi.
Good move, but Vanderdoes is just that good.
Grace, that's a great attack. Great attack. Grace.
Becker will come in now for Wilcoxon. Oh, for Rodriguez, excuse me. A very light press. In fact, a non-existent one from Placer. Maddie Hernandez just there to mix things up.
Pay now in the front. Becker. Back to Gulsvik. There's Lundmark. Lundmark wants to take the shot, doesn't have it. Wisely gets it back out.
5 on the shot clock.
They're going to have to take the long ball. Becker No, there's the 30-second clock. Grace Goldsvig.
I was wondering, the bench was oddly quiet, not letting the players know that the clock was running down. Coach McDaniel trying to fire his team up.
Good press now by the Miners. And that will result in a turnover. Palming the ball by Nicole Lee. Lee coming into the game for Lewis.
And now Yakis is in for Lundmark.
Audrey, the senior. Audrey Yakis will come in. Good outside shooter. Cross-court pass now. Goldsvig. There's a long ball. No good and saved inside. Yakis had it inside and she's going to get a foul. That's the kind of hustle we've seen all night, Steve. That's really the key to this Lady Miner team.
And they're swarming. They're doing all they can to get opportunities, and when the opportunities are there, they just can't score.
First one is no good off the front of the rim.
Walton now in for Gulsvig.
Here's a replay on that, Steve. Let's take a look at this.
And this is their 6th offensive rebound. And what can you do? You're there, you go up, you get fouled, you get to the line.
And then you create a turnover on the other end defensively.
I mean, they make it look easy when they do score. So you kind of lose just how difficult it is to put the ball in the basket.
Becker now should come back up to pay. Quickly inside, looks like we're going to catch a foul. It's Melissa Wilcoxon.
Yeah, she ran into Julia Camillucci, and Camillucci will get called for a loose ball foul.
23-46 here. Placer leads. Now a quick shot, no good. Ella Watson in the game with that three-point shot. Just over 2 minutes to play in the third quarter. Paul Brown, Steve Sitter bringing you this rivalry between the Lady Miners and the Placer Hillmen.
And again, Maddie Hernandez just sticks her hand out and disrupts the inbound pass.
There's a foul underneath.
As a result in a couple more free throws.
Melissa will get a chance to shoot a couple. Tony Camillucci getting a few of his bench players in the game here in the end of the third quarter. Melissa Wilcoxon misses the first off the front of the rim. And the second misses everything. Clearly upset about that, Melissa coming off the court. Few things in sports are more embarrassing, Steve, than an air ball from the free throw line.
Yeah, I think she was just completely in her own head there. She took way more time on the second shot than the first shot, probably thinking something along the lines of don't miss everything, don't miss everything. And
then misses everything.
Yeah, exactly. As the touchdown production scoreboard, Nevada Union, 7 offensive rebounds and just 3 points to show for it in this third quarter, down 46-23. Placer will inbound.
Back in the game now, AC Willis. So on the floor for the Miners are the Ella Watson, A.C. Willis, Yakis, and Grace Pay. Hernandez now goes all the way to the basket and scores. Good quick move by Hernandez, faking the ball up and then going right down the lane to get 2.
And Hernandez on the night has 17 points.
Yeah, it gets to Becker. Becker, the smallest player on the floor, goes to the basket.
And I believe Hernandez stepped out of bounds while going for that rebound.
Lundmark will come back in the game along with Golsvig. John trying to play a combination of players tonight.
Now Wegner will come in to replace Hernandez, give her a breather. Hernandez, as I said earlier, was 17 points, averaging 8 points per game. She's really stepped up and replaced Raquel Corardi.
Quick inside pass now. Grace Pay is going to get for pushing off. Found herself getting a pass and decided to give it just a little shove. Sydney Wagoner going to inbound the ball. The Miners in that notorious half-court press. With this lineup of Hillmen on the floor, this press may just well work. Really, they don't have a ball handler, but that's a foul by Golsvig.
Yeah, she got a bit too much wrist and not enough ball.
That'll be Grace's 3rd foul tonight.
Both teams now with 4 fouls in the quarter.
Long ball now by AC. Kicked out of bounds and we go back to the Hillmen.
And that's really unfortunate if Pay's foot doesn't get in the way of that errant pass. It would be another turnover. And you'll see it.
There's
the errant. The pass just goes off of Wegner's hand and right into Grace Pay's foot. Back to live action. 1 minute left in the 3rd quarter. 48-23 Placer on top.
Willis to Golsvig. Here's Grace Pay driving the basket up, and a rare field goal for the Miners.
It looked like she may have even gotten away with a travel.
Quick inside and now breaking the press nicely. Vanderdoss.
About a 3.5-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock.
Grace Pay underneath the basket, can't score, but with a quick follow-up. This is the instincts I was talking about, Stevie. You just can't coach that. Grace Golsvig knows where to be to get that offensive rebound and put it right back up. She'll get a couple from the line now.
And well short. Rebecca Muniz will come in for Jen Becker. And Nicole Lee will come in for Sydney Wegner.
And the next one is good.
No shot clock now.
Placer trying to break the press. Gets a turnover.
10 seconds now.
Golsvig will try for the last shot. Goes up and gets it. Clearly Golsvig the best player on the floor for the Miners right now. The freshman doing a great job.
And in that quarter, Nevada Union managed to rack up 8 offensive rebounds.
Wow.
That is not the kind of statistic when you realize that Nevada Union is out-rebounding Placer almost 2-1, and yet they're down 22 points. As you see on the touchdown production scoreboard, 50-28, Nevada Union trying to get something going here. Something to kickstart the offense, anything to get those balls to go through the basket.
And with the go-ahead of Gil Dominguez, if he is there, I'd like to see if I can grab Sammy DeHart here to come over for a couple of words during the fourth quarter. If we've got a headset for her.
Oh, I'd gladly abdicate for that scoop.
And for the fourth quarter, I'm going to turn this play-by-play over to standing Steve Sitter. Steve?
Thanks, Paul. Nevada Union trying to get something going on offense. They've got all the tools, just none of the points to show for it. Managed to get the ball inbounded. Grace Gulsvig will throw it back out for Grace Pay. Those two have been the key playmakers so far tonight. There's the give and go. Grace Pay underneath. Can't get it. And there's a defensive rebound for Placer, but they managed to disrupt the play enough to get Placer to throw it out of bounds. Placer with 17 turnovers. Nevada Union with just 9. On paper, Nevada Union playing the much better game. Gulsvig goes up, back of the rim, no good. Placer with the rebound again. Nevada Union will fall back. Playing a man defense. Dish down low for Vanderdoes. Vanderdoes tucks it. Nevada Union with the rebound.
Boy, as Vanderdoes gets better and that move right there develops, she'll be completely unstoppable. She's an all-league player.
Willis backing down Amber Burchell. And manages to draw the foul. Burchell looked like she wanted to be anywhere else in the world, but right there.
You know, Steve, looking at this Placer team, Tony Camillucci really, I think, has a tiger by the tail. Looking at this team, they've got outside shooting, they've got inside presence. They're going to be a very, very interesting team to follow this season.
I think right now the only thing Placer really needs to improve on is dominance going for those rebounds. That is the one thing that Placer really has not done very well.
Yeah, intensity overall. Either they're playing down to this team tonight or maybe they're a little bit off, but they just don't have the hustle that you see from the Lady Miners. They're just using their talent and their skills, and they don't really need the hustle, I guess.
Well, no, they've been pretty well dominant in every other regard.
Right, true.
And it really is just a case of Nevada Union is out hustling Placer, but it's come at the cost of point production. Long pass down for Nicole Lee. Nicole Lee dishes it down low for Camillucci. Camillucci no good. Fighting for the rebound. And I believe Nicole Lee had possession, and Coach Camillucci called a timeout.
Yeah, Julia Camillucci got that ball and knew what she wanted to do, but it just kind of slipped out of her hand, went off the backboard.
And I think that's what Coach Camillucci is talking about, is that presence in the paint. They've been running their offense basically at will. And there's certainly no trouble there. But keeping Nevada Union in this game is the combination of all those offensive rebounds for Nevada Union and those 17 turnovers for Placer.
Right, good point. The turnovers are something that the Hillmen definitely need to work on.
And 11 of those 17 turnovers were a result of steals. And that really does say something to Nevada Union. They weren't cheap. They were earned, and NU was trying to get in this game. So Chelsea Rodriguez will bring it up. Muniz trying to get to the baseline, but is stopped by Nicole Lee. And you will reset, trying to swing it left. to Rodriguez. Back to Lundmark. Muniz gets the baseline. And with 6 on the shot clock, have to give it away. Placer with a rare steal. And now Maddie Hernandez will bring it up into the corner for Lee. Back to Hernandez. Hernandez drives, dishes it, broken up by Lundmark. And a jump ball is called. I don't have the stat for how many jump balls Bailey Vanderdoes has been a part of, but she is the biggest player on the court, and these Lady Miners are just swarming.
It's been an unusual number, that's for sure. 5:53 left in the clock here. Goolsby back in the game.
Pass knocked away, comes to Rodriguez, another NU steal. 2-on-0, down low for Lundmark, and Lundmark puts in 2. 50-24, Placer breaks the press. Now there's a 2-on-1 developing. And there's a foul called. This will be free throws, even though that looked more like a pass.
Here's a replay on the fast break. I believe that was the 4th foul on Gulsvig, but we'll see there. Good movement of the ball. This is Sarah Lundmark. And Lundmark does manage with the left hand to put in the layup for the 2.
Back to live action. Some subs coming in for NU. Muniz and Will Coxon will come back in. First free throw from Nicole Lee is no good. And that is the 3rd foul on Gulsvig. Second free throw, no good. Rebound comes to Rodriguez. Rodriguez understandably looks to push. There's a long 2 on the way, no good. Rebound comes out to Lundmark, and now NU will set it up. Left side, there's a drive from Will Coxon. Will Coxon will throw it up, and the shot was partially blocked, so it will stay NU ball. 23 seconds on the shot clock.
Will Coxon, nice move down the baseline. I think we'll have a replay of it. But another vicious swat. Watch the defense here. Will Coxon knew what she wanted to do. And not being called for a foul was Bailey Vanderdoes.
Back to live action. There's another jump ball, this one involving Gabby Baker. Possession arrow stays with the Lady Miners. They inbound up to Lundmark. Lundmark takes a step back, puts it up, no good. Rebound taken, Placer. Placer takes their time with 5 minutes left on the game clock. Vanderdoes dishes over to Lewis. Lewis to Baker. Baker back to Lewis. Excellent give and go. And Raven Lewis will have a chance for a 3-point play.
And Gabby Baker showed her ability to pass, seeing the pass, and then executing beautifully. Not to mention a great finish by Raven Lewis, who's at the line now, and will get her 3rd point.
(53-31), both teams with 6 fouls. And this Miners team looking to scrape back, get something going. Nice step and a lay-in from Will Coxon. That was not an easy shot. Managed to just finessed her way in there. There's a long pass ahead, 3-on-2 developing, but Baker steps out of bounds. That is another Placer turnover, 19 on the night. Okay, Rodriguez brings it up. Left side. Muniz back to Rodriguez. Rodriguez back to Muniz. Muniz long 2, misses everything. And that will go off of Gulsvig. So Placer will take over.
Back in the game now, AC will come back in. Willis having a nice ball game tonight, coming off of her injury and her debut, if you will.
That's a long pass ahead for Baker. Baker pressured, no good. AC Willis with the rebound. Long pass up, broken up, but recovered by Rodriguez, and now Nevada Union with a chance to set up. Willis cross court, to Rodriguez. Rodriguez drives. That shot was blocked by Vanderdoes, and it falls out to Placer.
What else is Rodriguez supposed to do? She's in there amongst 2-6-1 trees.
Yeah, that's a 7-inch difference.
Yeah, all she could do is try for the scoop shot. Long ball now goes off the back rim.
And will fly out of bounds. NU takes over. 3:29 left in the fourth quarter. 53-33. Rodriguez been held scoreless tonight. There have been a few Nevada Union players who have not gotten on the score sheet. Willis, nice ball fake, and she's going to draw a foul. Some notable absences on the score sheet. Ella Walton with no points. Audrey Yakis with 1. Chelsea Rodriguez with 0. Jem Becker with 0. Gulsvig, Willis, and Pay have pretty much got the corner on all of the scoring. And you see Willis's first free throw just rims out. Wilcoxon comes out. Lundmark comes in. Second free throw is no good. Rebound taken. Vanderdoes. So now Hernandez with the ball. 3 minutes left.
Ball pressure.
There's a wide open Lewis. Lewis dishes to the corner for Hernandez. Hernandez drives the baseline, puts it up and in. I think Hernandez and Vanderdoes have a little side bet going on as to who can be the scoring leader tonight. They have been neck and neck. It's kind of a forced pass down low to Willis. Over to Lundmark. Lundmark to Pay. Pay for 3. Rims out. Rebound Placer. There's a drive by Hernandez, and Hernandez will be fouled before she has a chance to shoot. So this will result in a 1-and-1.
Boy, again, you look at this team, this Placer team. Hernandez is a junior. Baker is a junior. Vanderdoes is a junior. My goodness, what a core of players they have.
And Lewis is a sophomore.
Yeah. But this player right here on the score on the line right now, Hernandez, is impressive. She shoots the 3 ball, handles the ball well with both hands.
Meanwhile, we have a lane violation called on Bailey Vanderdoes. Into the game comes Emma White for Gabby Baker. Chelsea Rodriguez bringing it up, a 22-point lead for Placer. Long pass Becker to Walton. Walton down low. Can't go in, but Becker finds herself with the ball. Long 3 on the way. No good, but Nevada Union again comes up with it.
Another offensive rebound.
Lundmark goes in and loses it. There's a steal for Placer.
And Hernandez is going to take over. Good ball control.
There's a long pass up for Vanderdoes. Vanderdoes takes it in and draws the foul on Chelsea Rodriguez. A couple more free throws for Placer. Neither team shooting very well from the free throw line in this half. And we'll see the scrum underneath on the fight from Nevada Union.
And this has been typical of this game. You see the way that Nevada Union really goes for the ball, swarming defense. But look at this ball skills of Hernandez. You've got to be equally as impressed. Now watch, she has a cross-court pass here, looks up and with one hand just throws the ball across the court.
Back to live action. The first free throw from Vanderdoes is good, and the second one is not. Rebound taken, Nevada Union. Lundmark pushes it over to Walton. Walton for 3, and the first 3-pointer for Nevada Union falls for Ella Walton.
Good shot by Ella. She set her feet, squared her shoulders, and made that shot.
We have a sub coming in now after a basket, which is unusual, but Julia Camillucci comes in for Bailey Vanderdoes. Vanderdoes comes out with 19 points. Placer looking to break the press without Baker or Vanderdoes. There's a long cross-court pass for Burchell. Burchell gives it up to Lewis, and Lewis will take some time off the clock. Burchell up top for Emma White, and Coach Camillucci calls a timeout. And I believe the call won't be a timeout. It will be a timeout for a sub, which is, again, unusual. There's the touchdown production scoreboard, 56-36. Placer on top of the Lady Miners. Emma White pushes it down low for Wegner. Wegner out for Camillucci.
Just gets that shot off.
And now NU looking to push it. Gulsvig down low, can't get it to fall, gets her own rebound, puts it up, and that's good. Gulsvig with 13 on the night. Under a minute now in the game.
Gulsvig definitely the shining star of the NU team tonight, wouldn't you say, Steve?
Certainly most improved.
No doubt.
Again.
How many points does she have tonight?
13. She is certainly the point leader for Nevada Union. And we have a foul. Looked somewhat intentional. That will put Wegner to the line, shooting a 1-and-1. Wegner with just 3 points on the night. And she gets the roll to make it 4. And this game just goes to show you that no matter how good you play, you always have something to improve on. Both these teams with a lot to be proud of tonight and a lot to work on in the following practices. .45 seconds. There's a 3 on the way from Walton. No good. Rebound squirts out. And that will roll off of Elizabeth Stevenson. Nevada Union to inbound, 39 seconds.
And
let's
here's
take a look at that.
typical scrum on the floor. This is the kind of effort being put out by these girls, even though they're down by 20. It ends up with Sarah Lundmark getting a little bit of an ouchie on the floor.
Yeah, she just kind of rolls on Elizabeth Stevenson.
Under a minute left now here in the fourth quarter. Placer will coast to the win. Like you said, though, Steve, both teams notable pluses and minuses.
That's 7-second difference. There's a 3 on the way from Rodriguez. No good. Rebound Placer. Placer looking to run with a 3-on-2, but with no shot clock, Placer will just let the clock run out, I would imagine. Although Nevada Union is going to fight for some more points, and Rodriguez is going to pressure them into an over and back, which will be yet another turnover on Placer. That is an even 20 on the night. The 10 seconds left. Nevada Union looking for a quick score, something to feel good about at the end of the game. Walton throws up a 3. No good, out of bounds, 4 seconds left. Force the pass out of bounds. Placer will inbound again with 1 second coming off the clock, now 3.3. Long pass to Lundmark. Lundmark with the fake and the 3 on the way. No good. Rebound taken. Gulsvig. Count it.
Gets her 15th points of the day.
And the 25th offensive rebound for Nevada Union on the night.
Wow.
But they still cannot find a way to get the ball back in. And Placer walks away with a decisive 58-40 victory.
There's your touchdown production scoreboard. NU being outclassed tonight by the Placer Hillmen. The Lady Hillmen coming on the court, coming into Allied Gymnasium and getting it done. Steve Sitter, do you have a quick recap on the stats?
Just about. Doing a few last-minute calculations here. And this really was an interesting game from a statistic point of view, because the score does not at all reflect these two teams in this game tonight.
And what you see in the stats isn't always equated to a win or loss or what's on the scoreboard.
No, because looking at this looks like a very close game with both teams being very close in different areas. Nevada Union certainly dominated the offensive rebounds, and you'd expect that to translate into points, but it just didn't. Nevada Union, 25 offensive rebounds. That is as many defensive rebounds as Placer had.
Right.
So on the night, NU with 10 more rebounds than Placer, all told. And the turnovers. Placer, 21 turnovers, 12 of those from steals. Nevada Union with just 11 turnovers, and only 4 of those coming from steals. Wow. So that really just shows you the defense of Nevada Union playing at just a high caliber. But here's where it gets interesting. In terms of free throws, about even. Placer 6 for 9, Nevada Union 9 for 16. Both of those about on par for each of those teams' averages. But the three-pointers, that's the game. Nevada Union was 1 for 19.
Wow.
From beyond the arc. Placer 10 for 21. And that's the game. It's the percentages. And sadly, I don't have field goal percentages because that would be the most telling stat, because this doesn't do Nevada Union justice.
Well, I think we're going to see this Placer team go deep this year, Steve. We'll keep an eye on them. And Nevada Union, they will get their share of games. Just purely because John McDaniel is such a good coach, and he coaches a very aggressive defense. Their press is still very effective, but I think they ran into the juggernaut tonight of the Hillmen, and it was a 20-point loss.
Yeah, and just imagine both of these teams both without their number 1 players in the roster. That's amazing. This will be an interesting season for both of these teams.
So there you have it tonight. Executive producer Gilbert M. Dominguez. I'm sorry, but we cannot see those credits. Patrick Sheehy is your director tonight. Camera operators, Samuel Enos and Tony Rondini.
And Mason Diley.
Mason Diley also tonight on the camera. Steve Sitter. Outstanding, Steve Sitter. Thank you, Steve. And
Thanks,
Paul Brown tonight.
Always a pleasure.
It is always a pleasure. Remote facilities. The Commander 2. Commander Maintenance, Plaza Tire and Auto Service. We want to thank them for helping us out. Player of the Game Award will be Touchdown Productions. Yet to be determined. We want to thank you all tonight for joining us. Touchdown Accounting, Cinto Graziano. This has been your Touchdown Productions Game of the Week. Thanks for joining us.